Hello, nerds! Nerds for Humanity. How did the Yang Gang for Congress do in the primary so far? That is a question that Landline 51, a Nerds for Humanity member who supports this channel, asked me to answer. So here we go. We're going to look at all of the candidates that we interviewed on the Nerds for Humanity channel, and then look at if they had their primary, what happened? Where are they now? Okay, let's start. So first, here's the playlist. I've done about 35 videos, all told, and I probably missed some for this playlist, but we'll go with this playlist as the source of truth for now. And it's sorted by when I interviewed them. So the first UBI candidate was James Felton Keith. We interviewed him way back in September of last year. So let's see. He was running in the 13th district. And as you can see here, James did not win. He lost to Adriano Espelette. However, I will say to James, kudos, man. He got 24%, so almost 1 out of every 4 people in his district voted for a UBI candidate. So my guess is we won't be hearing the last from James, because that's a strong enough result, in my opinion, that suggests that he's got some legs. So congrats, James, on a really solid second place showing. Next interview was with Jonathan Herzog, Yang Gang favorite, original Yang 2020 staff person, super smart, first in his class at Harvard, impressive dude. No question. Okay, let's see what happened there. Okay, so first of all, old Herzog was running against Gerald Nadler. Nadler's kind of a lion of the Congress. He's been there for a while. He was a part of the impeachment process. And, you know, I watched this debate. He doesn't seem terrible. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of new ideas, but you know, he seems competent. So Herzog got, on the bright side, 13%. So about 1 out of every 7 voters chose old Herzog. Unfortunately, Herzog and Boylan, they kind of split the opposition. Unclear what would have happened had it been just Nadler versus one of Boylan or Herzog. We'll never know. Boylan did get 25%, so she had a strong showing. I think she used to work in the Cuomo New York State administration. Of course, there was a lot of chatter about her primary debate performance. Some people, myself included, found a little bit off-putting, a little bit dismissive. But focusing on Herzog, you know, if you're the youngest guy running for Congress and you literally just became of age to run and you got darn near 13% of the vote, my guess is old Herzog is coming back. So I'll be excited to see where he goes. Next is, we had Ryan Blevins, who was running for Congress in California. So Ryan was running in the 10th House District. And that primary was actually back in March of 2020. Blevins had a tough outing. He got 2% of the vote. About 3,000 votes. The winner got 63,000. So what can you say? You don't win them all. I salute Ryan for giving it a shot. And I know Ryan has been helping and trying to help organize other candidates running. So, you know, this is a long game. We're not going to get UBI overnight. And we need to keep kind of taking shots on goal. So thank you, Ryan, for giving it a shot. Next, we then interviewed Victor Harris for Texas Senate. Victor looks like he got 3% of the vote. The winner got 22% of the vote. So again, this is a very big primary. A lot of people running. Victor had a really great background. Had served in the military. Seemed like a really put together guy. Has a good immigrant story. Unfortunately, did not prevail in that race. But Victor, we thank you for your service and thank you for running. Next, of course, we have Mike Broihier for going after nomination to challenge Mitch McConnell. But before we get into Mike and the subsequent candidates' results, let me just give a quick thank you to our members. So first of all, our most supportive member has been Kristen Slevin. So thank you, Kristen, at the EVP level. At the VP level, we've got Chris Chan, Laura Lane, Fat Lamb, JM Sap, and V Lamb. At the hardcore level, we have Kirsch Thiva. Ooh, Kirsch is a new member. Let's get a gong. Woo! Thank you, Kirsch. We got Jekalago, Phoenix Congress, Koa, Landline, DK, Tracy, David, Mrs. Jones. And then finally, we have our verified nerds. The entry level, Lori Green, Nell, Elizabeth, Soldier, Emerald, Mercy Ann, Miles, Verily, Doris, Shake and Make, Mike, Sophia, Jadwiga, Gail, James, Hitachi, Your Mammon, Peter, Arez, Albert, Brandon, Yes, Sugar Sweet, Brian, Lisa, and Sydney. All right, now what happened with Mike Broihier? Let's see the results. Kentucky U.S. Senate Democratic primary, we have Amy McGrath winning with 44%. Ooh, Charles Booker giving her a run for her money with 37.6%. And Broihier in third place with 6%. Now, if it's true that Charles is sympathetic to UBI, well, you could argue that what would have happened had Mike not run? You know, I hate to be discouraging any Yang Gang from running, but ultimately we want legislation. And if old Charles Booker was that close, I don't know. But Mike's, he's going places. He's got that military background, teacher, farmer, very likable, comes across like very high integrity. So even though Mike got third place, I would love to see him make another run at it, either for Senate or maybe Congress. I mean, that's a topic that we should probably think about, which is Yang Gang trying to go too far, too fast? Should we start maybe at the state house or at the congressional level? But I'll let you guys comment below as to whether or not you think we shot too high. So next was, well, then we had some more Herzog, and then we had Sammy Ravello, Navy, NYPD, really, really impressive guy. I've enjoyed, one of my favorite guys to have a conversation with, just a cool dude. Let's see what happened with Sammy. So Sammy did not win the 16th Congressional District of New York. Jamal Bowman did. Sammy, got 1%. So a real tough outing for Sammy. I think he may have been, I'm not sure if Sammy was included in all the debates, but if he was, I suspect he would have done better. But I love Sammy. I hope, I love a lot of these New York congressional candidates. They're, maybe because I grew up in New Jersey, I just feel, I don't know, they keep it real. So Sammy, thank you for everything you did. I hope you're going to run again, my brother. Moving on. All right, after Sammy, we've got Jermaine Johnson. Okay, here we go, guys. That's what I'm talking about. VICTORY, baby. Jermaine Johnson took the rock to the House. So he wins the South Carolina State House District 80. He was running against a very long-standing incumbent, 5-term, according to the Post and Courier. Jermaine pummeled Gary Watts, winning 60% of the vote, or 59 to be precise. So a very strong victory for Jermaine, the first recipient of the Humanity Forward endorsement, which actually Andrew Yang first announced on the Nerds for Humanity channel. So maybe if Yang comes on to NFH more often, his candidates will win. Unlikely. We're a small channel, but I believe that the Nerd Nation has outsized impact, even though we have modest numbers. So congrats to Jermaine for the big V, the big victory, baby. Points on the board. That's what I'm talking about. All right, next We then had Herzog on again. And then we had, looks like Dan Larson. So let's see what happened with Dan Larson, who is running as a Republican, pro-UBI Republican in the Montana Senate primary. So if we look here, Dan Larson, the results of the primary in Montana, you know, he got 5.6%, so not a terrible showing. Almost tied for second place, but obviously Steve Daines, quite a juggernaut it would appear, with 88% of the vote. But hats off to Dan Larson. Nice to see party diversity. Not every Yang Gang needs to run in the Democratic Party. Next, we had David Kim. Now, David Kim is already going to the general election, so Godspeed to David. Let's all support him so he brings home a victory in November. Then we had some clips with Larson. Oh, we also had Heidi Briones. Let's look at Heidi's outcome in Oregon. So here are the Oregon primary results. And out of 4 people on the ballot, looks like Heidi got second place with almost 7% of the vote. So I don't know. I think that means there's something there. Obviously, this Bonamici character with 85% must be very popular. But 7,000 people did vote for Heidi, and the winner got 90,000, so nothing to sneeze at. So I'm sure we'll see more from Heidi as a candidate. I know she's doing more content creation on her own with John Munitz from Hill of Roses, so keep an eye on Heidi. Then we had some clips of David, and then we've got Blair. Blair Walsingham for Tennessee. She is running now unopposed for the primary. I think there was originally 2 others that have since dropped out. So congrats to Blair for being the official Democratic Party nominee for Tennessee's 1st district. Good luck in November. And then we had this Dream Team panel with Heidi, Herzog, Jermaine, and Mike. 1 out of 4 did make it all the way. So congrats again to Jermaine. And then we had Barrington Martin, who was challenging John Lewis. So let's see what happened there. Well, John Lewis is a bit of a legend, so not a surprise. He did get 88% of the vote, but I will give credit to Barrington Martin for getting 12% against John freaking Lewis. I'm going to guess we will see Barrington in the public spotlight again. That's a good enough showing to get you to come back, I would imagine, but we'll see. Then we had Lucci Gayot in New York's 9th district. Let's see what happened. Lucci, Lucci, I will tell you this. I put that dude on the hot seat. I asked him some really hard questions that he was not told ahead of time. And I was really impressed with what kind of sort of fresh thinking he had. And I wasn't just asking about UBI. I was asking him about, Amazon pulling out of New York and what to do about that and how to deal with, folks like AOC who are so opposed to big corporations going over there. He really handled it well. So I'm kind of sad that talent did not get rewarded in the primaries. Sadly, not everyone in the 9th district watches Nerds for Humanity, but I hope, Lucci, we see you again, because this guy, I don't know, he's a small business owner, positive, smart, articulate, hardworking. Isn't that what you want in Congress? So, Lucci, if you're watching this, I want to see you run again. I hope you do. And next time we'll redouble our efforts, brother. All right. Then we had, that looks like Sammy, a clip from Sammy. Then we had Badrun Khan. Badrun was running against AOC. And you know what? AOC did not have a slam dunk. I mean, she's a national figure, but she, quote unquote, only got 70% of the vote. And Badrun got 5%. So MCC got 20%. My takeaway is that AOC had a strong win, but she's also not Superwoman. And so hopefully people will keep her on her feet. Personally, I find her opposition to basic income and her claimed support for combating poverty to be inconsistent. But say what you want. Badrun, 5%, I think that's enough to at least consider going after elected office again. Maybe not Congress, but hopefully we'll see more of Badrun in the future. And lastly, we had an international one. We had Daniel Straub, who was the president of the Swiss referendum on UBI back in 2016. I like to call him the Swiss Andrew Yang, or in some ways, Andrew Yang is the Asian Daniel Straub. If you haven't checked out that interview, go look for it. Then we had Robbie Goldstein running for Congress in Massachusetts. His primary is not until September. So if you're still looking for Yang Gang for Congress to support, go check out Robbie. I had a great conversation with him. He went into great detail about healthcare and COVID, if that's of interest to you. And then we have Erica Rhodes, who is announced for 2022. Super strong start, raising a ton of money on her big announcement day. And I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of Erica in the future and have her back on the Nerds for Humanity channel. If this video was useful to you, please like it, share it. If you like this channel and you want to see more content from me, please consider becoming a member or buying some merch. In the meantime, keep it real and goodbye, nerds.